Alright, well, we found someplace a little bit more quiet and isolated than my garage, away from the beagles. I figured I'd do a video on my Bronco, if my dog would let me. So anyways, a lot of people ask me about my Bronco and some of the things I've done to it over the years to make it perform the way it does. So I figured I'd do a little video on that. We are here in the brisk, foggy Oregon weather today, so bear with me. My hands are a little cold, but I'll go over every little part of my Bronco as best I can. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments below. So this Bronco has a 3.5-inch suspension lift in the rear from Tom's. These are the Tom's Bronco parts 3.5-inch. I think this is the 11-pack leaves with a cage, dual shock mount in the rear. I'm running the Wild Horses heavy duty U-bolts and plate. As for the front, it's a little more mishmash of parts. The front end I got here is a Wild Horses 4.5-inch variable rate coil spring, the Rock Crawler coils, and then matched up with the Bloody Knuckle Garage slash, you can call it cage, dual shock mount with cage nitrogen shocks. As for the long arms, these are the James Duff Bloody Knuckle Garage cage long arm design. Up front here we've got the Wild Horses riser for the track bar, and then the steering, I made that myself. I think you can get a very similar steering from James Duff. This one was built using Rough Stuff components, so I got Rough Stuff Heims. It allowed me to get the track bar and pannered bar very parallel to each other, which is really what you want. Disc brakes from Tom's up front here with the brake booster setup that most vendors carry, and then the oddball locker that I really love. You don't see a lot of these, you see more ARBs, is the aux locker, which this is a stout unit. It is made 100% in USA, and this thing is beef, pure beef. I love the fact that you can get it in 3 different configurations. This one is the simple cable configuration. There's a cable that comes out of the housing here, and that cable runs into the cab. And from inside the cab I have a switch, I'll show you that when we get inside there, and you can actuate the locker on and off from inside using the cable. The other methods are air and electric. The only downfall I'd say is you don't have any other options but to run their diff cover, but their diff cover is extremely stout. The wheel tire combo, I get asked this question a lot. What wheels and tires am I running? These are the 17x9 Fuel Off-Road Anza. I believe it is the D117, but don't quote me on that. These are actual beadlock wheels. These are not DOT approved. Get that question asked a lot. They only come in one back spacing, and I really wish if I could give them any input, offer these in various back spacings. That's the biggest issue. If you're running stock early Bronco axles like I am, they're not very wide. You want that width. The back spacing is what you're going to use to get that offset. Unfortunately, because these only come in one offset, I'm running some redonkulous 2-inch wheel spacers. I know, 2-inch. The tires on this are a 37 12.5 on a 17 Goodyear Wrangler MTRs. I love these things. These are incredible. I have gone and used these on the Rubicon now, and they did excellent. They air down extremely well. Good road manners. Overall, one of the best tires I've ran on this thing. I haven't run a ton of different combos, but this has been a really good one. and I will continue to run these more than likely if I go get another set. I'll probably get something a little bit bigger, but other than that, I really, really like these tires. This bumper is from Tom's Bronco Parts. It looks like every other pre-runner bumper you can get from most vendors. I got it originally in the low slung winch position that has it where the winch would be mounted down in here. Unfortunately, I decided to buy this behemoth of a winch because I didn't want to get an air compressor and I didn't want a power tank. So I bought this Warren HP power plant winch that's actually got onboard air built in. And it works extremely well. Actually, I'll say this, it used to work a lot better when I had 33s, and then it worked okay when I got 35s, and now it kind of lacks that I have 37s. But anyways, it still airs up the tires, and it works extremely well. And the winch works well too. It's a 9,500 pound winch. So that's what's up front there. I moved these mounting brackets from down there. I welded these back on. And then let's see, the lights here, these are from Tiger Lights. It's a local company out here in Oregon. They're located in Tangent, Oregon. And these have been some awesome LED floodlights. And then the headlights I got here, these are a thing I won at Moab this year. These are from Wild Horses, and I believe these are like their JW speaker LED lights. I wouldn't say these are actual JW speaker headlights, but they're kind of similar. They work well, they're bright. I'm more of a traditionalist when it comes to the looks of Broncos, so I'm not really sold on how these lights look. They're not really, I don't know. It makes it look kind of goofy in my opinion. I prefer the original halogen bulb look to these. It just looks odd going down the road. But anyways, I like how bright they are. I won't fault them too much on their looks, but man, are they bright. Ooh, one thing I can show you. It's still kind of loud, but I did finally get the cable upgrade, thanks to Wild Horses, along with their heavy-duty quiet rubber bushings. I really like that. But the cables, oh yeah. Whew. That has quieted this thing down when it's going down the road. Alright, here we are inside the cockpit of my 68 Bronco. And from this view, you can see a little bit more of, it's pretty much your standard interior. Still running the stock gauges. Like I said, I really have love for the original components of the Bronco. I think some of these newer stuff from Dakota Digital, they're great. They have a lot of nice features, and obviously they're probably going to work a lot better than the original equipment, but there's just something about that original cluster gauge that I really like. I really don't want to get rid of it. So I'm going to continue to run it even though it isn't the best. But anyway, so there's that. That's all stayed the same. Only thing I've added here is that aux locker. This is the shifter knob. I'm not in the best position to try and engage it, but you can move this lever up into position, and then you can twist the knob and lock it in place. And there's the cable for it. It just runs back through the firewall down to the axle. And let's see, here I've got my Atlas 2 4.3 shifter, twin stick shifters. One of the best modifications I have done to this thing. Inside here I got some really comfortable seats from Tom's Bronco Parts. These are in Spice or Tan. I think it's Spice though. They're basically best top seats. They are waterproof and they're very comfy and just a great seat. Along with these Tom's Bronco Parts, other vendors carry these as well. Just your standard 3-point harness going through the roll cage there, and then just got it bolted down here to the floor. The dash, got the Tuffy glove box. The hole in the dash, if you were an idiot like me and you did not like the stock AM radio, you pulled that baby out and you put in a CD player, and then eventually you realized I might as well just get an amplifier and run everything via, you know, cable, analog cable, input jack, and then you were left with this ugly hole. And I really wish I could find a plastic cubby that would just slide in, because that's the size of a CD deck, something that just snaps in place. I don't want metal, I just want a plastic cubby hole for storage. That would be great. If a vendor's listening right now, plastic cubby hole for the idiots like me that cut out a hole for a CD player. That would be fantastic. Doesn't have to be anything special. Just a, I don't know, 2-3 inch deep cubby for a CD player hole. That's all I'm asking for. I can't find them. I've looked all over. If somebody knows of one, let me know. Leave a comment. If we get down low, I was saying I'm running the stock Bronco axles. So this is a Dana 44 from a 71.5 to 70, I think 75, 76. But yeah, this is just your run-of-the-mill early Bronco housing. I'm running your typical disc brake kit and the Chevy knuckle kit from one of the vendors. So that has the smaller opening. I would run RCVs, but it's really tricky to get the RCVs into the housing with that disc brake kit, so I'm not going to run that. Drive shafts are Tom Wood's custom shafts from him, front and rear. I really liked the process of getting drive shafts from Tom Woods and highly recommend them. They make some great products. They're easy to deal with. You call them up with your measurements, tell them what vehicle you got. More than likely they already know what U-joints to use, but if you got something tricky like a 1350 to 1310 or something like that, just let them know. They'll make it happen. Let's see, the drive shafts go to the Atlas 2 43Ks, mated to the NV 3550, and then I have a 302 from a 72 Ford F150 or 100, whatever it was. So yeah, other than that, there's not a whole lot more special about this Bronco. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Shoot me a comment in the comments below.